So your blood work came out bad. Let's talk about it. I'm Nate. I'm the FitFutureMD. Upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Pick up your free copy of the nutrition and workout guide in the description below. I'm currently down 45 pounds. And if you're interested in how I did that, pick up that free copy of the nutrition and workout guide. I'm the owner of Ensorsale. Ensorsale is family. Together we rise up from humble beginnings to inspire others all over the world with the messages on our t-shirts. Wear your inspiration today. So if you're like me, you know, I don't know if you're going to be like me or not, but I came out of high school, probably 19 years old. I go get my blood work done, you know, probably for the first time. Boom, pops up high cholesterol, right? So to me, I'm young. I'm like, well, that's just genetic, you know, nothing I can do about that. And I kept on living my life, right? But, you know, as it turns out, you know, now that I'm older, you know, the same high cholesterol was there in my blood work now, you know, last June, right? Not this June, but the June before. And, you know, so it turns out, oh, your cholesterol's high. Still high. I'm like, yeah, it's probably genetic, you know, whatever. And, you know, I'm sitting here like, well, I'm 315 pounds. Every joint in my body hurts. You know, I'm clearly not healthy. I'm breathing, you know, not having trouble breathing, but like winded, I would say. You get winded, right? And, you know, I don't know if you've ever been like that or not, but, you know, I made this channel for, you know, people that were like me, right? That were, you know, your habits over your lifespan had created an unhealthy way to live, right? So that being said, you know, a year later, you know, well, less than 6 months later, my cholesterol was perfect, right? Back where, and then all in normal ranges, right? So it goes to show you that, you know, your habits do have effect on you, right? So if you're going out and eating pizza, eating wings, eating cheese fries, you know, 3, 4, 5 nights a week, you're eating a burger, like, you are going to see that reflected in your health, right? So if you're like me, you got that, oh, you got high cholesterol, oh, you've just been diagnosed with diabetes, you're pre-diabetic. First off, you have to realize that, hey, this is because of my habits, and the habits that I have can change, right? So, you know, for the most part, it's definitely difficult to change what you believe after 25 years old, right? But for everybody, that's going to be different, right? There's levels of this is the worst it gets, right? So, for example, for a billionaire, having only $1 million in the bank is worst case scenario for them. For my family, you know, we've always had less than $1 million in the bank, right? So that's, if we had $1 million in the bank, we'd be excited, right? So there's different perspectives on what worst case scenario is. Well, I would say you don't want worst case scenario to be I'm hospitalized, right? Let the blood work show this is worst case scenario for you, right? It's that realization, like, this, if I keep going down this, it's going to end up with hospitalization. It's going to end up with a stroke. It's going to end up with a heart attack, you know, whatever the case is for you. Because, like I say, when I was 18, 19 years old, I was like, whatever, you know, I'm not going to change anything that I'm doing, right? That, you know, high cholesterol is genetic, right? My whole family's got it, whatever. But it turns out it's, you know, everything's partially environmental and partially your habits, right? So there has to be to change your mindset, there almost has to be a catastrophic event once you're past 25 years old, right? And for some people, that may be a heart attack of a family member. That may be a young death of a family member, right? That may be a family member that can't walk now, right? Because of arthritis or because of, back injuries or whatever, right? So that's the first thing you realize, that it is because of your habits, and your habits can change, right? So that's why I've created the nutrition and workout guide. And no matter where you're at, you can start with that guide and say, and number one, learn, from my mistakes, right? And what's worked for me, what hasn't worked for me. And then number two, it starts you out wherever you are physically, right? So when I started out, I couldn't even get up off the couch without hurting my knee, right? Literally, I was just that heavy with muscles that were not very strong anymore, right? Because it had been so long sitting through medical school, I basically sacrificed my health to get through semester 4 of medical school, right? Basically completely sacrificed almost everything. I would basically go on a 20-minute walk 3 times a week as my exercise, and that was it, right? I was not in control of the food I was being served. That was all. We had one meal from the cafeteria and one bought meal from a restaurant. I had no control. All right, so I come back from medical school. I'm 302 pounds at that time. And, that pop on my knee is what basically created that change, right, originally. So, we end up in Morehead City. I dropped down to 250 pounds. I'm cutting grass, which helped out a lot. Helped cardio all day, holding up a weed eater all day. So I was able to eat, every 2-3 hours, no problem. Switch over, get promoted. I'm now back. I'm in the lab where my degree is in chemistry. All of a sudden I see it, we're creeping back up, right? Creeping back up. I had to change because my output was a lot less, right? Because I'm in a lab. I'm not in the heat all day, right? Not fighting, a weed eater all day. I'm not holding up a weed eater all day. So that being said, you got the bad report. Now it's like, well, what do I do? Because you know what, your habits have led you to where you're at, right? And you kind of have to make a plan to change those habits. Or you have to identify what habits are causing this, right? Is the better way to look at it. So what were the habits that were causing that for me? We were going to Riptides 2 to 3 times a week, right? Especially post-COVID, when everything was shut down, we really felt that, that 30 days being stuck in the house, we went crazy when we got out of the house, right? And, that was a decision we made, and, it was obviously the wrong decision. But, so obviously we cut that out, right? So we stopped going out to eat as much. We eat at home, right? And then it's choosing what you eat. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to have, a lot of, in the South down here in the South, we eat fried chicken all the time, right? No problems. Like, it's a staple. Fried chicken is a staple of the diet, whether it be a fried chicken tender or fried, or white and dark meat chicken, doesn't matter, fried. It's all fried. Almost everywhere you go everything is fried. So, and fried seafood as well. Fish and shrimp and all that kind of stuff, everything's fried. So, that these foods have caused this blood work, all right? and it says, hey, you're unhealthy, and if you continue this way, you're going to die, or you're worse, you're going to suffer and then die, right? So you get that switch in your head. Okay, what are we going to do? Well, I'm going to switch to everything is grilled. From now on, we don't eat anything unless it's grilled, and maybe once or twice a year, we can have the other stuff. Number one, all right? So you can have a steak, but it's going to be grilled. It's not going to be fried in a pan, right? Or seared in a pan, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be grilled. It's going to be on a grill. No butter, no nothing. Grill, right? You know, number two, we are going to limit our carbohydrate intake to 1 serving per meal, right? So, and then that's when you realize, oh my God, 1 serving is this big, you know, 1 serving is that big, and I've been eating a pile of rice like this. Like, you know, so just start it with your nutrition, right? And, you know, I'm out of time in this video, but I just want to emphasize that, yes, the exercise is important. Going to the gym is important. You know, obviously that's going to come along with changing your habits and stuff, but you cannot outwork a bad diet. That's how I ended up back at 315, right? Last year, I was still working out every day, but we were just not eating very good, right? We were eating more calories than I was burning, number one. And number two, the calories we were eating were poor choices of nutrition, right? Excessive fat, excessive carbs, right? And that's mostly in the American diet, right? So you have to do something different to get healthy, right? Hope this helped you out, guys. You know, if you get if you get bad news, you realize you're unhealthy, know that you can change that habit. Pick up the free nutrition and health guide, nutrition and workout guide. You know, read it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Send me an email if you need any help. I'm Nate. I'm the FitFutureMD, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.